Welcome into an off-season edition of Inside the Charge. I'm Maddy Glab, and I'm so pumped to be joined by new cornerback Dee Alford. Dee, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm thankful to be here too. So
Yeah, we're happy that you're here. You're in the building for off-season workouts, which started about 2 weeks ago at this point. What have you learned most about this new team and this new environment you're in since being back?
man, I learned so much just being here. In a short period of time, man. It's just how everyone from top down just love to work. Love the craft and the grind, and I feel like that's the type of person I am. So I fit right in with the guys, the coaches and stuff like that, and it's been pretty fun so far.
Being pretty fun and loving that the environment is we're going to get to work and we're going to get better in these next few months as we lead up to OTAs and things like that. You walk in this field house during workouts. It's loud. Guys are screaming at each other in encouragement. What type of groundwork is being laid right now?
Right now, man, it's just kind of like the foundation. Hard work, beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. And that's something I always, live by. Like you said, just the energy. We feel like energy is contagious. So every day we coming in here, we competing against one another, to make your teammate better. And I think that's the main objective. And it's been showing pretty much, these past few weeks. And, just always finding something to prove. And, that's the type of group of guys we have here. Everyone want to get better and, ultimately, win the Super Bowl.
What type of character are you in these workouts when you're cheering on your teammates?
I'm energetic, man. It's just like you able to see your teammate, reach a personal goal, in the weight room or maybe a sprint, the mile per hour, stuff like that. And it means so much to me that, I can encourage the next guy, to be better.
It seems like a lot of team building also happens during these workouts on the field when you see the entire defense huddled around one person cheering for them to hit a PR. How do you build those relationships through something like working out?
Oh, man, because I feel like just that grind, that feeling that we get to feel for one another in the weight room and out here on the field. And, also just off the field, too. We got guys who kind of like lives around each other. We link up, go bowling, different things like that. Just always building that chemistry, and it goes a long ways, and it shows why the Buffalo Bill wins so much here, and it stuff like that carry on to Sunday night. So
going bowling.
Yeah.
Who's going bowling and who's 1, 2, 3 in terms of the best?
I'm not gonna say 1, 2, 3, but so far right now, Nicole Hardeman may be like the best bowler I've seen.
I've heard he's a bowler.
It's crazy. He gets like 265. Like it's crazy.
That's nuts.
A perfect game is like 300.
Okay.
He's close. So
that's like he's like a football player by day and a bowler by night.
He's a bowler.
What number are you hitting on a good day?
I'm kind of like average. I'm kind of like just going for the fun, from the camaraderie, things like that. I'm not going to say I'm good, but I'm trying to get better.
You're there for the vibes, which is great. Being a new player on defense, who are some of the players that you're already vibing with?
When I first got here, obviously, CJ, Chauncey, he knew too, but, we got guys like, I call him TB, Bernard. He's a great leader. And the secondary is crazy because I think I'm the oldest. So they look up to me to lead, and, I feel like, that's a role I've been ready for in my whole career. So it's just like a group that I was able to come in and fit right in, man. We all got, similar mindsets. We just want to, find ways to get better and just help each other grow as a person, on and off the field.
You saying that you're the oldest in a position group probably is a huge accomplishment for you because digging into your story, Dee, you're somebody who was a walk-on at a D2 school. You go undrafted. You play in the CFL. Now you're on your second contract. What did a walk-on Dee do that allowed him to now be in his 5th NFL season?
That's crazy. When you say all that type of stuff, I get chills, man, because it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of hours you got to put into your craft and, sacrifices, different things like that. You just got to ultimately just stay focused and, continue to chase your goals. It's a blessing to, to be here in this situation. Like you said, I was able to, to get that second contract, in this business, the profession, that we play, a lot of guys don't make it to that second contract. So it's, it's just a blessing to be able to say that I'm here and, I'm not done. I'm not finished. I want to continue to grow and get better as a player and as a person. So
continuing to chase your goals. What was that goal when you were a D2 player at Tusculum thinking, I just want to make it onto the roster here and I want to be an impact player. What else were those goals that young?
I mean, like you said, starting off, I feel like your goals can always change. At first my goal was to make it to the NFL. Once I got to the NFL, now my goal is I got to continue to make the 53-man roster. And I started noticing, every year I approached, the season with that same mindset to make the team, and I kept making the team. But now I got, goals as not just saying individual goals, but just far as, I want to be an all-pro. I want to be a Pro Bowler. I want to be a Super Bowl champion. I want things like that. So those are my new goals. And I feel like, just being here with the Buffalo Bills, I feel like this is the best situation to be in to help me reach my individual goals. We all know this is a team sport, and, that's why I'm here, because I'm a team player. It shows on and off the field the type of person I am. But, individually, I feel like, this is going to be a big year for me. I'm blessed to be here, and I'm ready to just show everybody what I'm capable of. So
I love this enthusiasm. It's getting me fired up. You had a career-high 3 interceptions last year. You say Buffalo is that right fit for you to take that next step. What is that next step for Dee Alford?
For me, I'm not going to try to get ahead of myself because, it's NFL, you got to take it day by day. But for me, like I said earlier, I want to, get some accolades for myself, try to solidify, who I am as a player and all that hard work that I put into, finally, just pays off. So that's where I'm at. Like you said, I had 3 interceptions. I dropped a few, so it's like I got a goal. I want to try to at least get minimum of 3. We all set out goals for ourselves. Sometimes you can reach them, sometimes you don't. But, I got a lot of goals that I'm chasing.
One thing that you're going to take on here, since you're an older player in the secondary room, is being a leader. How have you learned some of those leadership skills that you plan to use here over the last few years?
Just by having, a great group of guys just coming into the league. I want to say my rookie year, I had guys like Casey Hayward, he's retired now. Antonio Hamilton, who played in the league 9, 10 years. Guys who just been around, and they was able to, pass down their knowledge to me. And that's what I want to do for these guys here. I know I'm the oldest or whatnot, but it's like I just want to, lead by example. So if that's coming in early, watching more film, helping the guys when I see when they need help, things like that, that's the type of person I am.
The blue looks really good on you as a Buffalo Bill. I love that
you.
you're enthusiastic about this new pit stop for you, and hopefully it's not just a pit stop. Hopefully it's, years that you're in Buffalo. You also are going to be playing for a new head coach in Joe Brady, so you come in as a new player, but there's also a lot of newness around this building. What are you learning about Joe Brady's expectations for this team?
First off, Joe Brady is a great guy. He's a great guy, man. I like the way that he leads, just starting off team meetings, the things he say, how he lead by example. Coaches like that, you want to run through a wall for guys like that, man. And, I feel like his ultimate goal is to bring a Super Bowl here, and that's every person in this building from top to bottom, man. That's the ultimate goal, is to win. And I feel like, Joe Brady, he brings that every day into the building, that energy every day. And, energy is contagious, and it kind of like pass off to us, as players.
Feeling Joe Brady's energy and juice. We know he has some sayings already. Is there one that you feel like really speaks to you?
He goes by, put the ball down. I feel like that speaks to me too, because at the end of the day, you just got to put the ball down and play, no matter who your opponent is. And, as the Buffalo Bills, that's our thing, put the ball down, you got to play against us, and, that's the mindset, and that's how we approach every day. So
I feel like that's your story too. Like you could say put the ball down at any point in your career, and you've done so. No matter the situation, no matter the card you've been dealt, you've been able to put the ball down and do your best with what you have in front of you.
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of some of the stops that you've had leading up to the Buffalo Bills, you played in the CFL, you played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, won a Grey Cup with them, which was amazing. Cold place.
Cold.
How'd you get used to that cold, man?
I want to say this.
A Mississippi guy.
Yeah. So it's crazy because I was a lot of people don't know I'm from Mississippi actually, because I was born in Mississippi, but I was raised up in a small town like 30 minutes below Atlanta, Griffin, Georgia. So I claim,
what
Georgia.
do you claim? Georgia?
So I tell people when they ask me where I'm from, I'm from Griffin, but my birth certificate does say, Hernando, Mississippi. So.
How'd you get used to that Canadian cold weather?
I think it's all mental. I think
Okay.
it's all mental. Like going into the CFL, I had one ultimate goal, and that's to find my way back here to, the National Football League. So I went up there with the mindset to do what I had to do, no matter if it's cold, hot, windy. Like you said, put the ball down. I'm ready to play no matter, any type of weather conditioning. So
being in the CFL with a dream of, I'm going to make it back to the NFL, that's my goal. What did you do every single day to make sure that actually happened for you?
I feel like I just found ways to, better myself. We call it getting 1% better every single day, chasing greatness. So, like I said, I had guys in the CFL too who actually, the Winnipeg actually won the Grey Cup right before I got there. So they already had the winning mindset.
Nice.
So I was able to fit right in, and show what I bring to the table and things like that. And I was able to get Grey Cup, Rookie of the Year, CFL All-Star. A lot of those individual accolades I was able, to get with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But just being on a team like that, it's kind of got me ready for it. Anything that I got to come, forward to. So.
You have that talent, you have that work ethic. Was there anything you did mentally to really set yourself up for a life in the NFL?
I wouldn't say at that time, I wouldn't say I didn't do anything mentally, but I feel like when I got into the National Football League, that's when I started, realizing that, the game of football is more mentally more than physically. So I was able to, get my football IQ higher, if watching film, studying guys who played before me, different things like that. And that kind of allowed me to, like, shape my game and things I needed to do on and off the field to, better myself and my craft.
When it comes to your second contract that you're currently in Buffalo and all the work you did to get there and the mental side of the game, how do you continue to remind yourself, like, I'm in this moment because I worked my way to get in it and not get into the imposter syndrome of maybe I don't fit in here?
For me personally, I still kind of like haven't really been in that moment of, the new contract that I received because I always had the mindset that I'm an underdog. So I always feel like I got a point to prove. I always feel like I got a chip on my shoulder, no matter, how much money I got or what I'm getting. So it's just like, that's just how I approach my day. That's the type of person I am. I always feel like I'm undervalued, underlooked. So just coming into a building like this, I'm just ready, to show, why Buffalo brought me here and what they gave me. So, like I said, it's just the type of person I am, man. I'm just ready to work. I'm fired up, and I'm very excited.
I love it. You wake up hungry every day, and you're going to work as hard as you can to, like, get what you deserve. And that's such a cool mindset to have rather than somebody who is maybe a star player and kind of just walked into the situation they are because they've been gifted or blessed with the physical traits that they have.
True. And it's crazy because I still have people, like, just tell me I'm just this great of a player, I'm this, that. But it's just like, when you tell yourself you want to be great and you chasing greatness, it's like you never reach that level. So every day you just got to find ways to continue to get better, to continue to grow, because I feel like that's just the game of football. It's just going to continue, to get better. Athletes going to continue to get faster, bigger, different things like that. So you never could be complacent in this league. And like I said, that's the type of person I am. I never be complacent. I'm always trying to find ways to get better the person next to me. Because, like, if you better your teammate, you better as a team collectively. So them things like that pays off.
Okay, we know Dee is a hard worker. We know he's earned everything he's gotten. We know you have a crazy story that got you into the NFL. Who are you off the field?
I'm pretty much the same guy. I'm kind of chill. Once I'm off the field, I'm chill. I'm not really like an outgoing person. I'm kind of like a house guy. I have 4 dogs, I just go home, play with my dogs. I love video games, different things like that. I like music. I listen to music all the time. But, yeah, just off the field, I'm chill. I like to do things with my teammates. I mentioned bowling earlier. So different things like that with dinners and just being around the guys and, just trying to build that bond and, and get closer to your teammates. That's the type of person I am. And like I said, I'm not an outgoing person. I'm kind of boring. I
don't think you're boring. I'm not getting those vibes.
I'm kind of boring. I'm one of them guys just tell people to, come to the house, come to the crib, come play the game, do this, and, and that. So I'm a real chill guy.
But that's honestly how so many players seem here. It's the environment of like come chill at the house because it's not like you're in New York City here. It's the family environment of we all live around each other and
Very
we all
close,
have some
yeah.
great homes. So come and chill and let's get to know each other.
Yeah, true.
4 dogs. What type of dogs and what are their names?
So I have 2 American bullies. I have a girl
Nice.
dog. Her name is Prada.
Good
I have
name.
a boy dog. His name is G. You know, because they call me D, so I call my dog G.
G.
He's real big, XL bully. Then I have 2 Shih Tzus.
Okay.
I have a 1-year old lady. Her name is Chloe. And then like the puppy, the youngest, his name is King. I call him King because he think he run everything. He think he's the American bully. So and he the smallest out of the bunch.
How did you decide to go with like an American bully to a Shih Tzu? What was the thought process there?
I really don't know, man. I really just don't know, to be honest. But I feel like, just dogs in general, I kind of view dogs as like my kids. So
Yeah.
I love my dogs, They be with me all the time. They're not here in Buffalo yet, but,
Okay.
Once I get everything situated, they'll be around with me.
We're going to need
sure.
their thoughts on what they think about
I know,
Buffalo
right?
when they get here. Are we going to add to the number? Or are you like 4 is good, I'm not going to do more?
I'm trying to see because I kind of like want a Frenchie bulldog.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to see, but my dog's getting kind of older and stuff like that. So I really don't want to start over because their puppy stage it's a lot.
It's crazy.
It's a lot.
And for an NFL player, like
It's a
you got to
lot.
deal with a lot.
It's a lot.
Before we go, the NFL draft is right around the corner. What is one piece of advice you have to rookies who want their name to be called and are hoping to hear their name called in the first 7 rounds, but might not?
My advice to those type of guys, just keep your head down and work. Your phone gonna ring eventually. Whether that's a future contract, or undrafted contract, different things like that. I feel like the National Football League does a great job with finding talent. So if you talented and you'll be a part of this this 1%. So my biggest advice is just keep your head down, just keep working, keep training, find ways to better your craft. Also, understand why you didn't get drafted, and approach that to your workouts and different things like that, man. And I'm a firm believer. You just put everything in God's hand, and everything will fall in place.
You're here to say it doesn't matter if you don't get drafted. I'm sitting here on my 2nd contract and I'm working hard.
And it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
That's amazing. Dee, welcome to Buffalo. We're so
thank
happy to
you.
have you
I'm
here.
fired
I
up.
feel like fans listening to this are going to be like, wow, I know who to cheer for on day 1.
For sure. And I'm fired up, man. Like I said, it's a blessing to be here in Buffalo.
Well,
It's
we're
a
so
blessing.
happy we're here, and we can't wait to see you come season time and come training camp.
For sure. No, thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, Dee.
No problem.